into Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter, 9 straight years, and running the team from GulfCoast Financial Services, celebrating more than 31 years, helping to formulate the plans and execute for proactive savers and investors to achieve your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, founder and CEO here with us as always, keeping us focused on the finance and concentrated and centered on the cash flow, immersed in the money. He is John Kuykendall, founder and CEO of GulfCoast Financial Services. John, going to be talking about two of the most important questions to answer for lasting financial confidence today.
Well, that's right, Peter. And, one of the things that we have to worry about in this day and age is longevity. We're living longer. Tom Hagnia calls it the eighth wonder of the world, because with longevity, the longer we live, the more prone we are to all the other risks, inflation, legislation, interest rates, all those things come into play. And I don't think people really consider themselves the fact that they're going to be retired probably as long as they work. And so we really need to have that financially focused income plan to make sure that we have everything we need in place to handle all those things that we just talked about.
Yeah, if we see, John, a market correction or a downturn on average every 5 to 7 years or so, then over an extended retirement of 25, 30, 35 years, we're likely to see several of those market cycles, which leads to some angst and heartache and heartburn for savers and investors trying to preserve their capital and create income in retirement.
Well, that's right, Peter. One of the things that we, with modern medicine and the modern technology, everything that's coming into place with the computers and all, we are certainly, our lifespan is longer than any other generation. And the generation after this is going to be even longer. So we really need to have an income plan. The only cure for lack of money or lack of income in retirement is an income plan that has predictable, sustainable income that's going to last your lifetime. We have that with Social Security. And a lot of people now, because since 1987, when we did away with the defined benefit plans, we went to the 401ks. And so very few people get that second check in the mail each month that the prior generations did. And so we're having to live off of what we've saved and that Social Security check, which a lot of people are making mistakes in, pulling it too early, trying to get the money out early, having penalties. It's just, there's a lot of things that we need to look at in planning, Peter, that the average person doesn't think about.
John, you mentioned the 401ks. This generation, and attributed to those 401ks, has built the largest amount of personal wealth, much more personal wealth generally than the generations that preceded them. However, we still have much more doubt and worry and concern. The number one fear time after time of retirees is running out of money in retirement. And I think it's because of longevity and because we don't have that guaranteed income offered by pensions and defined benefits like we used to.
Well, I think that's right. 55%, over 55% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck. And so a lot of us haven't saved, don't have a savings plan in place, and we need to get that there. The one thing in retirement, because we are building up this wealth, Peter, but as you said, with the market corrections, the fact that this generation has more wants than any other generation, spending our money without a plan is something that we're going to run out before we run out of time. And so, the one thing that retirees don't want is to have to go home and live with the kids. Mine said, don't worry, they'll find me a good place, and I hope it is a good place, but you never know. But the last thing we want to do is impose on our kids and have to live with them. But if we're not careful, that's certainly a likelihood. One of the things that we don't plan for And it's going to be close to over 90% of retirees over 65 at some point during their retirement are going to need long-term care, Peter. And Medicare doesn't cover long-term care. It just doesn't take it into effect. We have to cover that ourselves. And that is the fastest way I know to eliminate or to take a big crunch out of our retirement savings. And so we need to worry about how we're going to do that. And that's part of the income plan that we work up. 20% or over 20% are going to need long-term care for over 5 years. Now, according to the latest statistics, in 2021, the cost for long-term care for a nursing home, single private room, was almost $80,000. In 2031, that's projected to be $160,000 per year. So you can see, Peter, that without a plan, we could run out of money real quick in retirement.
Yeah, they call that longevity the risk multiplier, John. And the longer we live, the more likely we are to see many of these risks. Longevity during our working career, we fear passing away too soon, and then in retirement, it's like that changes completely, and we fear living too long. And we are living longer these days, but we're not necessarily living healthier lives. What would have perhaps ended our life 15, 20, 30 years ago, medical science and advancements and procedures and prescriptions are now prolonging life much longer. But that does not mean that it costs less. And in fact, those numbers that you just gave, that's scary. That's the 900-pound gorilla in the room of how do we address the potential for those medical expenses and specifically long-term care costs should we encounter them.
Well, that's right. I look at the TV commercials, Peter, and it seems like we have a drug for every ailment there is. A lot of ailments that I never knew we had, but certainly there is a drug for every ailment that we would incur. And that's one reason that we have these medical advancements that are keeping us living longer. But we want to make sure that we're still active and still able to do the things that we want to do. And we can't do that without funds to do it. And so we can't rely totally on that growth bucket, Peter. We got to have the income bucket. We need that financially focused income plan that's going to look at Social Security, Medicare, long-term care planning, taxes, and your investment portfolio so that we can tie all those things together in a comprehensive plan that's going to show you what we need to do to make sure that we can have the retirement we want for our lifetime.
Yeah, John, your premise for the program, the two most important questions to address for confidence in retirement. Number one, what single financial risk could make the biggest impact on your retirement? The answer there, longevity, by far the biggest risk to your financial stability and security in retirement, multiplying all other risks. Number two, how can you address and eliminate the possibility of this risk ruining your retirement? And the answer there is income. Income is the cure for the risk that longevity presents in retirement. And John, that's why you focus so much on that written retirement income plan, the financially focused retirement plan, specifically addressing income in retirement and how we can generate it, count on it, depend on it into and throughout the phases of retirement that we will move through.
That's right, Peter. And, Peter, what we did was in our book, our new book, quitting is for winners, retirement's not for wimps. We cover all those items in there, and we make sure that people understand the traps, the problems that they're going to incur, but also how we can overcome those through planning. This whole book talks about how to get the best retirement you can get. I hope it's, if you want a copy, you'll give us an email, give us a phone call. We'll be glad to get you one. This is something I think that every retiree or soon to be retiree needs.
Well, again, if you would like a copy of the new book, Quitting is for Winners, Retirement's Not for Wimps, you can stop by the office at Gulf Coast Financial Services. You can go to the website and click contact us and be in touch that way to request your copy, gulfcoastfinancial.net, or you can give a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. We cover a lot of the risks and issues and concerns in modern retirement in that book, John, and you did a great job in addressing those and talking about the importance, stressing the importance of having that financially focused written retirement income plan to address this number one concern of longevity and how we can make our money last.
Sure. Yeah, it's one of the things, Peter, that we need to do, and we can't procrastinate. As we come to the end of this year, it's too late to do a lot of things that we need to do. Taxes are sunsetting in 2025. We're going to go back to the old taxes that we got before 2017, and we're going to eliminate we could eliminate the standard deduction that we've got, which is almost $27,000 now for a married couple over 60. So a lot of things are changing in our taxes. We need to be proactive for that. We need to think about how we're going to handle those legislative changes or risks that we can't do. There's nothing we can do about them other than be ready for them and plan to avoid what we're going to do in 2024 to get ready for 2025.
Well, if you've got questions, if you want to be prepared as possible for the year ahead, for the years ahead, for the different phases of retirement, make sure that you've got that financially focused written retirement income plan. And a great first step is calling now and requesting to receive your copy of Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement's Not for Wimps, the new book by John Kuykendall, your host here, keeping us focused on the finance, ladies and gentlemen. 386-755-9018, the number to call, 386-755-9018. John, it is always a pleasure seeing you, getting the opportunity to speak with you, bringing up important topics each and every episode here on Financially Focused.
Thank you, Peter. It's great to be here. I hope you have a good week. Hey, if you'd like a copy of our new book, Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement's Not for Wimps, I encourage you to click the link below and get your copy today. Hey, we like it when you listen to the show, but we like it better when you like, share, subscribe, or feel free to leave a comment.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities, Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services, Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities, Inc. or Kovac Advisors, Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.